Greetings, pilots, and we're back. And I've been noticing recently that I should actually be checking the Nosos Explore area a lot more often these days, because now I see Reunion Act 2 now available. The good news is I've already pre-downloaded that, and we're going to be doing that one tonight, or wherever you're from. So, at the end of Reunion, we saw the Shivans completely eviscerating our fleet and then making their way into the rest of our galaxy. I wonder where our exploitations and all that are going to now land us in. This should be interesting, to say the least. I've been very much excited for this next part, though. It played so well when I played the first part, though, and I'm at a loss for words right now. It's kind of weird, though. But yes, Reunion Act 2. Yeah, it's coming up right now. So all of you, sit back, enjoy, and let's get into this. Hopefully, we won't die too much. Alright, so here we are, everyone. Okay. So, Reunion Act 2. The GTVA once again faces its greatest nemesis. Are we looking at a third Shivan incursion? I'm not sure. Act 2. Apocalypse. Oh dear. Okay, so it speaks about the incident at the Olympus gate. You guys can read that when you feel like it. I'm just gonna continue. Alright.
/ Captain's Cabin, GTCV Warsaw, Captain Keith T. Nowak's office / Rough night, Miller. You look like hell. Listen. We've just hit LHS 288. One of the systems we've discovered just a few months before the isolationists started messing around. It's still unmapped and potentially dangerous, so I want you and your team to be sharp. Grab some stims, if you need them, I don't care. I really don't want to write condolence letters just because you were half asleep and some rookie flew into an asteroid or something.
Yeah, that would probably happen.
Anyway, I called you in because of said rookies.
Wonderful.
I can't say I am satisfied with the current composition or performance of Alpha Wing. Your team is, frankly, a shit show.
Bad AR.
I can't help but notice the growing antagonism between Alpha 2, flown by Ensign Zachary Zach Friedman, and Alpha 4, flown by Ensign Juan Prince Castillo. Those two clearly have it out for each other. Zach keeps insulting Prince because of the wealth and influence of his family, while Prince criticizes Zach due to his lackluster performance in simulated battles.
It happens.
Neither of these guys has any significant combat experience, and I don't want their first major engagement to be an accidental friendly fire incident.
Yeah, that might happen.
There's also the question of Alpha 3, flown by Ensign Liana Harris. Yeah. Listen, Miller. I'll be frank, Harris is clearly the most talented pilot of your team, but she is just way too timid and naive. She needs a bark that matches her bite, else, those two idiots will eat her alive. The first thing I'm gonna do once we get back to Laramis is that I'm going to reshuffle your team. Until then, see to it that Ensign Harris does not suffer any irreversible psychological damage while serving with Zach and Prince.
Oh yeah, that'll be easy to do.
I realize your team's not the only one that's less efficient than desirable. Lieutenant Tex Duncan Co of Beta Wing is. Well, to be frank, I feel like I've made a mistake promoting him to his wing leader role.
Yeah, we're scraping the
Don't
bottom
get
of the
me
barrel.
wrong, he's a decent pilot and a good guy, very likable. I know you're good friends, and with his men, Shark, Vlad, and Tyler, he's acting like he's a childhood buddy of theirs.
There's always a
whereas
Tyler
they've
in
barely
every
known
group.
each other for a few months. This is not necessarily a good quality in an officer. He never scolds them for anything, he fails to garner the respect he needs for his command authority, and all this results in his wing getting disorganized more often than not. I'm also worried about how he'd react if any of them got killed in action. They're just way too close to each other. I'm telling you this because I know you guys are on good terms. I do not want to reprimand him officially, yet. Give him a few pointers, That's all I'm asking from you. I know Korhonen wouldn't be the right man to deliver this message.
Well, someone's got to do it.
I think I said all that was needed to be said about the 190th's personal matters. Alpha and Beta will be flying out soon. It won't even be the regular, boring patrol duty you've kept doing the past few weeks. Commander Korhonen has already set up the briefing room with all the details you need. Yeah, about Korhonen. I know you guys think he's a hard ass, but he's a reliable leader. Do what he says and he'll keep you guys alive.
Or as best as
Take
possible.
care out there, Lieutenant Miller, and watch your men. Dismissed.
Oh, great. We're a bunch of ragtag people. This is going to be great.
Nice of you to have finally showed up, Miller.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost a minute late. I know organizing things isn't exactly your strong suit, but the least you could do is respect the time of your superior officer.
I'll think on it.
While you were taking your beauty sleep, the Warsaw and its pair of escort cruisers have entered LHS 288, the final waypoint of our patrol. If all goes well, should be heading back to Laramis in no time.
Oh, let's hope.
Towards our final waypoint, we'll be stopping to link up with the GTA Rentgen and the GTC Ardennes, its escort cruiser. The pair has been scanning LHS 288 for outlaws for about 3 weeks, and the Warsaw will be the first Allied warship which they will meet after completing their mission.
Surprised they're not talking about the Shivans.
Miller, your wing, Alpha of the 190th Winged Hussars, will be flying recon during the mission's initial stage. You'll warp in near the rally point designated by the Rentgen and send a situational report to the Warsaw. If all's green, we'll move in with the corvette and its escort pair. We aren't expecting anything out of the ordinary, but this is wild territory, so we should tread carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Once we RV with the Rentgen and the Ardennes, we'll exchange intel with the pair. It should take little more than a few minutes, but your team will stay in space to oversee the operation. If the AWACS team has nothing to report, we'll go home. If they find anything, pirates, smugglers, isolationist remnant, we'll have another job to do before we head back to Laramis. And that job entails cracking some skulls.
Let's blow shit up.
Try not to get yourself or your men killed out there, Miller. I won't be taking part in this op, but I'll be watching you. You're in for an ass-kicking if anything goes wrong.
Well, thank goodness for plot armor. Alright, so what have we got? Okay, shit on space superiority. Ooh, so we can use the Herc. Yeah, I want to use a Herc. Subak. Phaser. Prometheus X. See, power usage 2.4. Yeah. So we got a Prometheus X as well. 77, 86. Yeah, this is doing a lot more damage. Let's have you in there. Alright. Anything else we can... What is this, Wolverine? Yeah, the Harpoon's still a fantastic little missile, I gotta admit that. Anti-armor, swear.
Alpha Wing to Warsaw, we're 15 clicks from the designated waypoint.
Ooh,
Nothing
wow,
else
this
on
looks
sensors.
so much nicer
Over.
now.
Affirmative, Alpha. Move to the objective and stand by for further orders. Alright, team, let's get a move on. Hey Harris, any word on the Soul Reunion project yet? You said your boyfriend was stationed in Delta Serpentis. If my measure is right, the gate should be open by now. I mean no offense, but I've been flying on the same ship you were the past few weeks, Zach. The last communique we received from Laramis was more than 4 days ago and I haven't heard of Kyle for a week. I'm sorry. Okay, smartass. Forget I asked anything, mumbles. What's your problem, Zach? It's not her fault that you ask such a dumb question. Get off the high horse, Mr. Knight in shining armor. You may be heir to a fortune, but out here, you're just canned meat like us.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, she just emphasized she had a boyfriend.
Ooh.
Listen here, you little shit. At least my flying isn't so bad that it endangers. Can it, everyone? I won't have any of this personal crap jeopardize your performance out here in the ass end of nowhere.
Yeah, shut the
Right.
fuck up.
So about the gate. Any guesses? I mean, as to what's going on in Delta Serpentis now.
That's what I wanted to know.
It is safe to assume contact has been established with Sol already. Negotiations are being conducted between the two parties. I expect a quick and efficient resolution, desirable to those involved. So, think your dad's company will get a few more contracts worth billions from Earth? Zach, I'm going to foo. I said stop, damn it. This is an order.
Yeah, shut the
Sir,
fuck up.
I request that you specifically order Zach to refrain from insulting my here daddy. I am a volunteer fighter pilot and wish not to receive any special treatment resulting from my father's majority stake in RNI systems.
Ugh.
Zach, please be professional and refrain from commenting on Prince's heredity. It impacts our team's morale in a negative manner. But Lieutenant, that is literally where his nickname comes from. I don't care, pilot. Stand down.
Yo. Those two fight worse than a married couple. Alright.
Alpha calling GTCV Warsaw, we've reached the NAV Bowie. No sign of the AWACS team yet, requesting orders. Affirmative, Alpha, deploying to your location now. This is the GTCV Warsaw, we're now on station with the SUUKYI and the Tambov. Deploying Beta to perform patrol as well. What's our objective, sir? Maintain position and keep your eyes on the radar. Beta wing reportin'. Howdy, Alpha. How y'all doing? Wow, is that you, Tex?
Ow.
Didn't think they'd let you out of the infirmary so soon. Here I am, fit as a fiddle. Tell you what, Miller, they let me out of that damn hospital bed only to go back there in a coffin. Say, what? Are you drunk again, Tex? Sober as ever, Miller. Couldn't sleep a damn minute through the night, not gonna start drinking like that. So you guys couldn't sleep either? I've been spinning around my bed for hours. This feeling of impending doom, huh? I know, partner. I felt the same. Not that I mean to scare y'all folks here, but old man Tex is never wrong when it comes to
Oh
hunches
wow,
like
look
that.
at that.
You guys are being creepy as hell. Here we are, all alone in the edge of nowhere, and you're talking about ghastly dreams and impending doom. Heads up, people. We have incoming jump signatures. This is the GTA Rentgen and the GTC Ardennes. We're under heavy fire and require immediate assistance. Alpha, Beta, move into escort formation. GTA Rentgen, who's attacking you? A bunch of pirates, apparently. There's at least 2 wings of fighters on our back and probably several more of them incoming. What the hell happened? Pirates don't usually just go and outright hunt down GTA AWACS teams. Well, these pirates are bold. We'll send you the intel later, just please get them off our backs first.
Oh dear.
Here they come. Alpha, Beta, we're reading 2 wings of our fighters vectoring the AWACS team. Full power to the engines and intercept those hostiles. We cannot afford to lose either the Ardennes or the Rentgen. Rentgen, try to move closer to our warship formation. We'll try to shield you with our beam cover. Roger that.
Ow. Next.
Gemini wing is down. Heavy breathing, we got them all. Heavy breathing, are we? Did we win? Nah, partner. Picking up 3 warships, 2 gunships and a makeshift carrier, as well as 2 wings of bombers and their posse.
Uh-oh.
Alpha, Beta, concentrate on the bombers and gunships. The Warsaw and its team will tackle that heavy. Hey, Miller, we're going to hit Taurus wing. Scorpio is yours. Alright, Tex. Just remember last time in the sim, don't get too cocky. You know me, son. All fighters, be advised, the pirate carrier has launched 2 wings of Styxes, which seem to be hunting for fighters. Fall back to the Warsaw for cover if you get overwhelmed. Damn it, it looks like all the pirates in this godforsaken system are swarming on us. What the hell did you do to stir up the hive like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Pick them off and we'll give you a full debrief. Alpha wing reporting Scorpio objective neutralized. The side is going
never mind.
Woo! Pirate gunship down.
Ah, damn it. Stay still.
Those con bombers have lost their escorts. Let's finish the job. Objective neutralized. Taurus X-Wing is down, yeehaw. Looks like we've broken the tip of their offensive. The pirate ships are disengaging. All
What
clear,
a whim.
command. Detecting no more hostiles in the area. That was unexpectedly hot. It sure was. What's going on here, Rentgen? What did you do to get everybody on the GTVA wanted list attack you at the same time?
Exactly. What did you do to
The
piss
funny
them
thing
off?
is, we didn't do anything.
Bullshit. I
Here
call
to
bullshit on
elaborate,
that.
Rentgen.
Press X
You
to
can read
doubt.
the riddles. This is a secure GTVA channel. Yes, sorry, sir. We were tracking faint movements and unusual subspace anomalies around the system for weeks, but the outlaws were so elusive we couldn't triangulate any major formations. Then suddenly, yesterday they threw it all out of the window. They became reckless as hell. They started moving massive amounts of ordnance around the system. Our sensors lit up like a Christmas tree. Not only did we start tracking them with ease, we also discovered a previously unknown jump node they were using.
Oh, interesting.
An unknown jump node? I assume there's some sort of outlaw hive on the other side? Afraid it's something much worse. The node leads to ROS 128.
Really?
What the hell? Yeah, exactly. No idea since when it's active or how it wasn't discovered by the GTVA yet on the other side. However, it's active right now, some pirates are using it and it's all that matters. Anyway,
Interesting.
we too got careless. Got too close, the pirates spiked us and they've been chasing us ever since. Thanks for pulling our asses out of the fire.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
guess
nothing.
that means we have a job to do, team. Where can we find this node, Rentgen? Transmitting our entire sensor log, Warsaw, then we'll be getting the hell back to Laramis. Affirmative, Rentgen. Can you make it back on your own? Yes, sir. I don't think the pirates will try another direct assault after the ass-kicking they just received.
Ass kicking,
All right,
yeah.
then. Safe flight, Rentgen, see you back at Laramis. All units, we've received the sensor packet from the Rentgen and will be moving in to secure that jump node. Fighters, return to the hangar bay. Cruisers, prepare for hyperspace transition. Roger that, Warsaw. Alpha returning to hangar. Guys, am I the only one here who's freaked out by some random pirates using a hidden node even the GTVA doesn't know of? I mean, how you didn't even do half as bad as I've expected you to under such pressure, Miller. Color me surprised.
Sorry we came back
This
alive.
pirate offensive was surprisingly potent. Lowlives like the ones that attacked us usually avoid armed GTVA vessels and expend their limited resources only when they are sure to win. This certainly wasn't the case right now. This attack was bold, brazen and fortunately, unsuccessful. We didn't manage to do a clean sweep, but managed to inflict casualties so significant that the pirates were forced to retreat, which is good enough with the assets we have. Captain Nowak received the full sensor log of the Rentgen and tasked the ship AI to perform a full analysis of the data. What we know so far is troubling. The pirates are using an uncharted node to ROS 128 to deliver a significant amount of ordnance into the system. To what end, we do not know, but we suspect that they are planning a coordinated attack of some sort. If our preliminary intel is correct, it might be plausible that some ex-isolationist rebels are among the rogues. It is not entirely unreasonable to suspect that they are intending to carry out some sort of politically motivated action. Whatever they're planning, we will disrupt. The Warsaw has already vectored in the location the Rentgen gave us and we're going to do a clean sweep. Have a drink, eat and take a shower. We'll likely run into heavy resistance and I need you to be focused. Dismissed.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised though with all the pirate activity considering that the Shivans are back. and in full force, and yet the pirates are still doing their shit. Seriously.
Take a seat, Miller.
Already am.
The shipboard AI has performed a full analysis of the data we received from the Röntgen, and we managed to extract the precise location of the supposed, previously unknown ROS 128 jump node the AWACS team has discovered.
Excellent.
As our primary mission continues to be the elimination of all outlaw assets, securing such a strategically important backdoor to GTVA space is a priority 1 objective. Miller, you and your Alpha Wing will take point in performing reconnaissance of the coordinates where the supposed jump node is to be found. Report back on any enemy defense assets and ship movements you encounter. Following your report, we will do a fighter sweep of the area, deploying both Beta and Sigma wings. Sigma, led by yours truly, Squadron Leader Commander Korhonen. I will assume operational control upon arrival. Our objective will be to eliminate any pirate presence you find around the node, prioritizing anti-warship threats that may jeopardize the Warsaw's group. Once all anti-capital ships' threats are neutralized, and the node is secure, Captain Nowak will deploy the Warsaw and its cruisers. The warships will clear up any remaining hostile assets, then we will make the jump into ROS 128, warning the GTVA forces on the other side of the backdoor's existence.
Recon and secure. I think let's all go with these. Yeah. Whoa. Uses a lot of power. Nah, I think I'll just stick to the normal harpoons.
Alpha 1 calling Warsaw, Alpha 1 calling Warsaw, come in, over. We read you, Alpha. What's your status? We're at the node. Reading a stable subspace vortex. No enemy ships around, just a bunch of sentry guns. Affirmative, Alpha. We're deploying Beta and Sigma wings to your location. Beta wing here, howdy fellas. Sigma wing here. Commander Korhonen assuming control of the operation. Alpha wing ready for orders, sir.
Let's do this.
Beta wing, hit the elastors. Alpha, go for the big guns. Sigma will cover you. Affirmative. Text. Now come and help us out
take a lot of damage.
Stars. Sure thing. Beta wing.
We really lost one of Sigma.
Pirate guns battlegroups neutralized, Commander. Warsaw, this is Korhonen. We've taken down the sentry grid. No more hostiles in the area, over. Affirmative, Commander. We're deploying to your location momentarily.
Good.
Stand by. Incoming
Uh-oh.
jump signatures. 10 clicks from the node. They're not ours. Picking up a Plowton, a Laylaps, and a modified Herc. Maintain position, team. We'll wait for the Warsaw's group before we engage.
Whoa, look at that thing.
Boy. These blokes aren't supposed to be air. Didn't the lass say there were absolutely no GTVA ships in the area except for that AWACS crew? She sure did. Oi, soldier boys. Aaron yes supposed to be fine the Shivans instead of harassing some poor blokes, Ryan o make a living in he bottle and glass and ov nowhere?
Wow.
What did he say? I didn't quite understand but I'm fairly certain I've heard him say Shivans. Alpha 2, we will not interact with these hostile actors. Stay put and wait for the Warsaw. Yes, sir, but what was that part about fighting the Shivans or something? Did you hear what I did? It is called misdirection, misinformation, and an attempt to demoralize, soldier. A rather poor one at that. Stay focused. We should be warning Sven's boys. They might arrive with the loot at any moment. Is a by too late FOTHA now, lad. We need to see you our way through if we want put dinner on the table. Heads up, fellers. Those rogues are vectoring the node and the Plowton is launching Styxes. Where the hell is the Warsaw? Warsaw Corvette team now on station. Assuming operational control. Warsaw, we have an impending pirate strike. That Plowton is vectoring us and we most likely have several more ships incoming. Roger that, Commander. We're holding our ground now, we won't move an inch until the node is secure. Incoming jump signature from the node. It's a torpedo cruiser. What the hell? Outlaw vessel, surrender immediately and prepare to be boarded. Kiss my ass. All units, open fire at the services, as well as any other pirate ship that might emerge from the node. We're doing a clean sweep of the area. Hell yeah, let's do this. The services crew is jumping ship. Switch to other targets. Picking up several more jump signatures from the node. Hostile configuration.
What the hell just happened?
Under Criticu's escort. Most of them seem
Uh-oh.
to be commandeered civilian ships with stolen cargo. What are our orders? Shoot them until they surrender, Miller. If they don't, the less criminals the GTVA has to worry about. But sir, what if? Do your goddamn job, Miller. Another incoming pirate warship. It's the Tuareg. It also has 2 wings of armor interceptors with it. It's getting awfully crowded here. Everyone, stay focused. The Warsaw and the SUKYI will be prepared through the convoy. The Tampo and Beta will chase away the Tuareg. Alpha, Sigma,
Whoa.
concentrate on the fighters and cruiser turrets. You heard the man, let's give him hell. Heads up, all combat wings, we have more incoming hostiles through the node.
Uh-oh. All the transports. Yeah, you ain't going anywhere now, are you? Just blow up.
Picking up another incoming ship from the node.
Oh, you gotta
My
be
God,
kidding me.
it's massive. Just another freighter, partner. Darn huge one for sure, but just another freighter. Focus fire on that freighter. I want that behemoth off its feet. The Tuareg is launching Styxes. Watch out.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, let's try that again.
Alpha 1 calling Warsaw. Alpha 1 calling Warsaw. Come in, over. We read you, Alpha. What's your status? We're at the node. Reading a stable subspace vortex. No
Okay,
enemy
Sigma
ships
only had
around,
3 ships.
just a
Okay.
bunch of sentry guns. Affirmative, Alpha. We're deploying Beta and Sigma wings to your location. Beta wing here, howdy, fellas. Sigma wing here. Commander Korhonen assuming control of the operation. Alpha wing ready for orders, sir. Beta wing, hit the elastors. Alpha, go for the big guns. Sigma will cover you. Affirmative. Elastors down, Commander. You had it easy, thanks. Now come and help us out with the guns, TARS. Sure thing, Miller. Beta wing, Gunstar platforms neutralized, Commander. Warsaw, this is Korhonen. We've taken down the sentry grid. No more hostiles in the area, over.
For now.
Affirmative, Commander. We're deploying to your location momentarily. Stand by. Incoming jump signatures. 10 clicks from the node. They're not ours. Picking up a Plowton, a Laylaps, and a modified her. Maintain position, team.
Yeah,
We'll
that
wait
that
for the
herd kind of
Warsaw's
looks like
group
it's
before we
made
engage.
specifically for like sensors and all that.
Boy. These blokes aren't supposed to be air. Didn't the last say
check
there
all
were
those sensor
absolutely no
arrays.
GTVA ships in the area except for that wax
Still
crew?
using the old model.
She sure did. Oi, soldier boys. Aaron yes opposed O be fine the Shivans instead O be harassing some poor blokes, Ryan O make a living
And yes,
suppose
suppose I'll be fighting the Shivans.
W.
Good grief,
What
the
did he
text-to-speech
say?
really sucks for
I
this sort
didn't
of
quite
thing.
understand but I'm fairly certain I've heard him say Shivans. Alpha 2, we will not interact with these hostile actors. Stay put and wait for the Warsaw. Yes, sir, but what was that part about fighting the Shivans or something?
Yeah, we don't know.
Did you hear what I did? It is called misdirection, misinformation, and an attempt to demoralize, soldier. A rather poor one at that. Stay focused. We should be warning Sven's boys. They might arrive with the loot at any moment. Is a buy too late FOTHA now, lad. We need to see you our way through if we want put dinner on he able. Heads up, fellers. Those rogues are vectoring the node and the Plowton is launching Styxes. Where the hell is the Warsaw? Warsaw Corvette team now on station. Assuming operational control. Warsaw, we have an impending pirate strike. That Plowton is vectoring us and we most likely have several more ships incoming. Roger that, Commander. We're holding our ground now, we won't move an inch until the node is secure. Incoming jump signature from the node. It's a torpedo cruiser. What the hell? Outlaw vessel, surrender immediately and prepare to be boarded. Kiss my ass. All units, open fire on the Xerxes, as well as any other pirate ship that might emerge from the node. We're doing a clean sweep of the area. Hell yeah, let's do this. The Xerxes crew is jumping ship.
Oh boy.
Switch to other targets. Picking up several more jump signatures from the node. Hostile configuration. Freighters under Critical escort. Most of them seem to be commandeered civilian ships with stolen cargo. What are our orders? Shoot them until they surrender, Miller. If they don't, the less criminals the GTBA has to worry about.
The
But
better.
sir, what if? Do your goddamn job, Miller. Another incoming pirate warship.
Ow, ow, ow.
It's the Tuareg. It also has 2 wings of artillery.
That's my kill. You're not taking that.
It's getting awfully crowded here. Everyone, stay focused. The Warsaw and the SUUKYI will move to tear through the convoy. The Tambo and Beta Wing will chase away the Tuareg. Alpha, Sigma, concentrate on the fighters and cruiser turrets. You heard the man, let's give him hell.
Yeah. Ow. Alright, who's next?
Combat wings, we have more incoming hostiles through the node.
Oh, wonderful. Oh. Yowza.
Picking up another incoming ship from the node. My god,
Oh, you've got to
it's
be kidding
massive.
me.
Just another freighter, partner. A darn huge one for sure, but just another freighter. Focus fire on that freighter, team. I want that behemoth off its feet.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. 1 health, come on.
The dromedary is going critical. Stand clear of the blast zone. Pirate forces are retreating. Disengage. We're not going to pursue.
Well, let's finish off the ones that are still here.
All units, we're going to traverse the node. Vectoring in the subspace vortex now. Fighters, you may jump to Ross 128 or return to the Warsaw's hangar at your convenience. What the hell was that? Did these pirates seize every single freighter from the Ross 128 system or what?
Must
I
have.
dunno, partner. Sure looks like it. We gave them a nice ass whoopin' though, didn't we? I'm still more worried about that guy said about the Shivans.
Yeah.
You guys heard it too, didn't you? I'm sure he said Shivans, didn't he? What's the matter, Zach? You sound outright petrified. Shut up, princess. The only one who's petrified here is you. I ain't afraid of no pirates, isolationists, or even Shivans, I just... You are to drop this Shivan subject immediately, Alpha 2 and 4. Their mention was clearly meant as a mean of misdirection and you are buying into it. I'll agree to Hera saying that it's unusual mere pirates would be able to capture such a mass of freighters and cargo at the same time though. If anything, that is something worth discussing. I don't care what you agree to, Miller. Strategic discussions are up to me and Captain Nowak only. You are not to think and concentrate on following orders. Yes, sir. The outlaw forces in this region are surprisingly coordinated and potent. The amount of cargo they seem to have seized may represent a record in the history of GTA law enforcement. Worse yet, the convoy we destroyed may not be the only one that flew through this hidden jump node from Ross 128.
That is true.
We're going to link up with GTA forces on the other side. Ross 128 still is a scarcely populated system, with a mere pair of outposts operating in the area, a civilian trade hub and a GTA early warning station. Hopefully, someone on the latter can shed some light on the unusually lax level of security that seems to have taken hold around the area and the extremely intense pirate activity that followed. Get your guys into shape, Miller. Especially Zach. His behavior is freaking people the hell out.
Maybe he's a conspiracy theorist. What am I supposed to do about that?
We have no recommendations for you. Attention all pilots. This is Captain Nowak speaking. Upon our entry to Ross 128, we have picked up several dozen distress signals, which mostly seem to originate from the vicinity of Sunset Commercial Hub, the only civilian installation within the system. We are too far out to determine the exact content of the calls, but their density suggests a significant event of a malignant nature going on around the installation. As members of the GTA security forces, it is our duty to respond.
Oh dear.
The Warsaw and her team will travel to Sunset Commercial Hub before we continue our journey towards the military outpost. We will determine the cause for the distress signals and respond according to the situation we find on our hands. Sunset Commercial is not a high-traffic installation. The unusually large amount of distress signals, however, suggests a significant amount of vessels have clustered around the station. This in itself causes us to be very. Alpha Wing is on point. Lieutenant Miller's team will scout around the area. Beta and Sigma will be deployed only if the situation so requires.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna need them.
Judging by the intensity of the outlaw activity, it is entirely within the realm of possibility that Sunset Commercial fell under some sort of pirate attack. Although uncommon, it is not entirely unheard of that pirates would attack a civilian installation, if they suspect that the undertaking outweighs the possible risk of prosecution and / or they are desperate enough. The outlaws we met so far sure seemed desperate, so be prepared and be ready for anything.
Okay, so assess the situation at Sunset Station. Alright. Let's get some heavies going. Let's try a couple of different things.
Lieutenant. You've gotta see this. Oh my god.
Ooh.
What the hell happened here?
Oops.
A massacre, pilot. We're picking up the wrecks of at least 24 ships, mostly civilians. The station and some of the ships around it are still intact, but the debris field is too dense for our scanners to assess their hull integrity accurately. Alpha Wing, go and perform a scan of the intact hulls. Perhaps there are still some survivors on board. A. Affirmative. Who the hell could be capable of such a thing? Was it the pirate fleet we encountered? I don't know. I don't think so, Prince. I'm fairly certain they have no means of causing so much damage with the weapons they had. We've ran a scan on the Tropico. Reactor coolant flooded its crew deck. Everybody died on board. That's unfortunate. Keep scanning, Alpha. Maybe you'll have more luck with the other ships.
Oh, the student vessel.
Sir, this Basudan ship just exploded as we finished the scan.
It was a trap.
Its reactor was probably too damaged at this point. Keep scanning other ships, Lieutenant. Man. I hope no one was still alive on that super freighter.
Olympus.
Sir. We're picking up life signs from this vessel. There are people still on board the Abrams. Alive. Affirmative, Alpha. Can you establish contact? Negative. Their comms relay is busted, but their life support seems to be holding on. Alright. We'll be launching a Heron shuttle to pick up the survivors. Alpha, your next task is to provide escort. Roger that.
But what about the Hippocrates? Dang it.
Shuttle beginning operation. Commander Korhonen, is that really you? Being a former shuttle pilot, I was the best man for the job. Now cover my ass, Miller, or I'll bust yours if this ship gets as much as a scratch. Yes, sir.
Well, thank goodness that thing has a shield generator. That's helpful.
I'm not moving an inch until you get back here, Miller. I'm not looking to get killed by whatever did this inhumane massacre.
Yeah,
Sir.
I'm coming, bitch.
Yes, sir. Alright, let's get a move on. Alpha Wing assuming escort formation. So what do you think did this, Commander?
Had to be Shivans.
I don't know, and this isn't some sort of guessing game, Harris. Use your comms only if necessary. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Really, guys?
My, S, sensors just lit up. Red blips, but no targeting data. You guys see it too? Yeah. I see it too. Should we investigate, Commander? Get it out of your goddamn mind, Lieutenant. Or you hate me so much you want me to die out here or what? Sir, no, sir. Then don't even think of breaking formation, pilot.
Oh, I'm tempted right now just to leave his ass behind.
Whatever it was, it's gone. Sensors are fully green once again. Incoming, incoming, incoming. Several hostiles have emerged from subspace and are closing on us fast. What the hell? Shivans. Those are Shivan fighters. No. No. They're back. Oh my god. I can't believe this. We're all gonna die. Pull yourselves together and intercept. For heaven's sake. Your GTVA fighter pilots, show some damn integrity.
Woo-wee! Oh, at least they still die like Shivans do. I gotta admit, I like these missiles.
I'll look around this way and I'll be right back. Are you really going into that unstable cruiser alone, sir? Sir.
Ah!
They're dead. Thank God. I'm sorry, Zach, but I seriously don't think that was the last of them. Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Ow, I shouldn't do that ever again.
Incoming bombers. They're heading for the Abrams. Alpha Wing, you must intercept those bombers before they get into range. The Abrams hull is heavily damaged. It might not withstand even a single Shivan bomb. We require backup, Warsaw. A single fighter wing is clearly insufficient against an impending Shivan invasion. Have patience, pilot. Beta and Sigma wings are gearing up and getting ready for launch. Incoming Mars. 6 of them. They must be trying to cover the remaining bombers. Don't worry, fellas. Beta wing is here and ready for SM rock and roll. Thank God. We might just make it after all. You've got this, Alpha. Just leave some for us, will you?
You come here.
Hostile Corvette incoming. Avoid that Corvette for now, Alpha, and get ready to escort Commander Korhonen back to the Warsaw. Alright. I'm done. There was one person I could pull out of the wreckage and even she is barely alive. Let's get out of here. Good to hear from you, sir. That was. Save it, Miller. I'm undocking now. Assume escort formation and order your men to follow suit.
That thing looks insane.
The Shivans have destroyed the Abrams. Close shade. I'm still here, pilot, so stay focused and on my 6. Things might get even uglier on the way back. Picking up a massive incoming jump signature. Jesus. Just, look at that thing. Sweet roller. What the hell is that? We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die.
Good
All
grief.
fighters, we're getting the hell out of here as soon as the commander is back on the Warsaw. Do not engage any of the Shivan warships. I repeat,
Look at this
do
thing.
not engage any of the enemy warships. The destroyers is launching several fighter and bomber wings. Maras, dragons, Nephilim, Seraphim. Maintain your escort, pilots. We'll give you AAA coverage. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Look out, Alpha. Those Maras are targeting Commander Korhonen's shuttle. Keep an eye on Gemini wing. The dragons, Pisces wing, are targeting you, Alpha. Watch your back.
Doesn't that transport have any afterburners or anything?
Static King dragons, I hate them so much. They were pain in the ass to kill in the simulator.
Yep.
They're probably much worse in real life. Don't save your missiles, Tyler. Ace and
What have
Dart
you got?
reporting.
Kill them all. Kill them all.
Sigma wing is in the sky. Hope we aren't too late from the party.
Yeah, it's a bit helpful.
The Shivans have raised whatever was left of Sunset Commercial.
Dragons.
I'm on board the Warsaw with the shuttle. Let's get the hell out of here. All fighter teams, return to the Warsaw's fighter bay immediately and prepare for emergency subspace jump.
Sorry, me first.
To all officers and crew of the GTCV Warsaw, the GTC Tambov and the GTC SUUKYI. I regret to say that our worst fears have come true. The Shivans have returned. With them, immeasurable death and destruction arrived. Ross 128's only civilian installation, Sunset Commercial Hub, has been destroyed. Everyone in its vicinity, save for one crew member of the GTC Abrams, seems to have met a horrible death. We still do not know how the Shivans came back to GTVA space or in what capacity.
I do.
However, simply the destroyer group that apparently brought devastation to Sunset Commercial is a threat we cannot face with the firepower we have right now. We hope to improve our situational awareness from the interrogation of the Abrams survivor. She seems too injured and in a state of shock. However, due to the urgency of the events unfolding around us, we will extract information from her at the first available opportunity. Until we assess the situation in a proper manner or link up with any GTVA ships in the area, the Warsaw's group will avoid contact. Use this time to rest, heal your body and soul and get yourselves organized. It is highly likely that we will have to face the alien menace again in the near future, so it is imperative that our whole team is ready physically and mentally to face this resurgent threat. An update will be posted on our comms net once we gain further intel. Until then, I ask you to resume your duties with the patience, professionalism, and devotion of a GTVA service person. We have no recommendations for you.
Okay, so yeah, so the Shivans are obviously back, so this is going to be a lot of fun, especially with two new classes, one new destroyer and one new corvette. This is just going to be great, and that corvette has a heavy beam cannon. This should be a lot of fun. Okay then, let's see what we can do to try and save everyone. It's what we do best. It's what we do best.
Accessing FleetNet Comm system. Welcome, Lieutenant Miller. You have one new message. Sender, Captain KT Nowak, Co-GTCV Warsaw. Subject, Situational Update. To all officers of the GTCV Warsaw, the GTC Tambov, the GTC SUUKYI and the 190th Winged Hussars. I am writing this message to you in order to share the mission-critical information we gained by interrogating the sole survivor of the incident at Sunset Commercial. Lieutenant Waltz, the ship's former medical officer, was, and still is, in a state of shock, but what she said is dire, troubling, disastrous, even. It looks like the GTVA is once again facing a Shivan invasion of an unknown magnitude. There was supposedly an accident of some sort around the opening of the Olympus portal in Delta Serpentis, which instead of taking the GTVA back to Earth, opened a gateway through which a Shivan armada forced its way into GTVA space. Delta Serpentis fell within hours and the Shivans have struck nearby systems. Beta Aquila, Ross 128 and Sirius are likely all under attack or possibly under complete Shivan control.
Good grief.
What we know by now for certain is that Ross 128 fell. The Shivans have destroyed Sunset Commercial and the military forward observation outpost as well, slaughtering a large number of civilians and GTVA personnel in the process. Some civilian vessels tried fleeing towards Laramis, the Dromedary, the Idlib, the Dahlia and other ships we met in LHS 288-, but seizing the opportunity the chaos of the Shivan invasion brought, outlaw factions of nearby systems have attacked and captured most of these ships. We have no information about the fate of their crews, but we can assume that they are all dead by now.
Well, seems about right.
The Warsaw will now continue towards Laramis to resupply and regroup. The intel we have so far suggests that several other GTVA ships have attempted to make their way through to the system, so it is likely that we will find some sort of rally point there. In the meantime, we will also attempt to make contact with any GTVA personnel in Ross 128. So far we only have the confession of a shell-shocked medical officer. We will need to link up with allied combat units to get a clearer picture of the situation and possibly lend a hand in the coordinated campaign going on against the Shivan forces.
Yo.
I also can't help but notice that morale has dropped significantly, especially in the ranks of enlisted personnel and junior officers.
Really, you don't say?
I understand that you are all confused and afraid. The Shivans are an alien, enigmatic threat with firepower beyond our comprehension, whose true motives are unknown to us even after 2 major military conflicts. That, however, does not allow us to be disorganized, undisciplined or, God forbid, cowardly. We have a job to do. The safety and security of dozens of systems depend on our actions as a GTVA fighting unit. As officers, it is your duty to keep your personnel motivated and organized. It is your duty to keep their fighting spirit long enough for us to win. We have beaten the Shivans twice already. We can do this again.
I don't know.
Just have faith, have courage, and show exemplary conduct that your subordinates will follow. Sincerely, Captain Nowak. End of message.
The way I see it, we've beaten the Shivans twice already. It's more like we survived the Shivans twice already, you know. Beaten them, it's a pretty stretch of the word.
Lieutenant Miller, I called you in because we have an urgent situation on our hands. On our way to Laramis, we have picked up the comm traffic of several GTVA warships in the edge of the Ross 128 system. Their presence contradicts our assumption that suggests the alliance is more or less defeated in the region and all warships have retreated to Laramis. We will attempt a handshake with the GTVA group and try to get a clear situational update. The most likely scenario that the vessels are from Laramis and are attempting some sort of counterattack. If this is the situation, the Warsaw will assist the battle group. Alpha Wing, as usual, you're on point. Deploy to the battle group's last known coordinates and get a situational update. Transfer the intel to the Warsaw and we will decide on our next course of action accordingly.
Okay, so we need to link up with the GTVA group. Oh dear. Yeah, slight sacrifice in speed, but at least we got more armor at least to work with. Let's go more of those.
Detecting an incoming fighter wing, looks Terran. All ships, halt. Look, it's the GTA Rentgen, the GTC Ardennes and several other ships from Laramis. They seem to be in a pretty rough shape. I hope Command didn't send this banged up fleet as some sort of counterattack, or else. Identification complete. It's Alpha Wing from the GTCV Warsaw Squadron, the 190th. Alpha Wing. Lieutenant Miller's team, right? That's right. What's your status, Kuran? Are you moving to engage the Shivans? You should know that they have at least one destroyer group in the area. Yes, indeed. We're going to break through to the Delta Serpentis node.
Ooh, that's risky.
Roger. I'll signal the Warsaw and we'll join you. Your ships seem to be in a pretty bad shape. Negative, Alpha 1. There is no need for that. We'll manage on our own just fine. Did I hear that right? In such a horrific condition, these ships could hardly deal with a single Kane class. Kuran, your fleet is in a terrible shape. We're not sure you could tackle the Shivan threat. The lead Shivan destroyer is A. We will be fine. Now leave.
Good grief, come on,
I
boss.
don't like this, Lieutenant. Incoming jump signatures. Unregistered vessels arriving. It's the Tuareg. It has jumped right in front of the Kuran's group. Why aren't they discharging their beams? Captain Krissa. I see you have brought the package as per our agreement. You are early. We have to move quickly, Captain. The Shivans have wiped out every single installation in Ross 128 and Laramis and are hunting down any remaining Terran and Vasudan ships in the area. I can't believe this. You people are dealing with the pirates? Rentgen, Ardennes. We rescued you from their kill team just a few days ago. How can you stand for this? You have not seen what we have seen, Lieutenant. The Shivans have mowed down the entire Laramis defense fleet in a matter of minutes.
Whoa.
They have wiped out every single installation in the system. We are the only survivors.
Whoa.
But why are you dealing with pirates? Why would you think these marauders are able to counter the Shivans better than the GTVA could? The Shivans cannot be stopped. The pirates have several hidden installations in the newly discovered systems. We can hide there. We can survive. Come with us. We will escape to the systems beyond LHS 288. We may be humanity's last, best hope. You're out of your damn mind. Not only that, you are actively betraying the GTVA. You know full well what course of action BATAC prescribes. Alpha Wing, our first target is the Werewolf, a pirate transport. We'll prevent that ship from making a handshake with the turncoats. Move in to engage. Sir, I think they have a point. The Shivans. You know, Capella. They might have hundreds of Sathanas warships. You can't be serious, Zach. I'm sorry, sir. You know full well that we cannot beat the Shivans. We lucked it out the first 2 times.
That's true.
But even with all the technological advances we made, we cannot stop 100 Shivan juggernauts.
Yeah, that's very true.
This is absolute madness, Zach. Alpha Team, engage the Werewolf and prepare to arrest these deserters too. I'm calling in the Warsaw. I am afraid that will not be possible, Lieutenant Miller.
Oh, jeez.
You are forgetting that you are facing an AWACS vessel here. I'm giving you one last chance. Join us, or we will wipe out your team. Eat a turd, you dirty traitor. All units, Lieutenant Miller and his team are hostile. Engage and destroy. Zach, what the hell are you doing? Cease fire, you're shooting at friendlies.
I agree.
Screw you. I'm not dying in an unwinnable war. Zach, don't do this. Let it go, sir. He's an active threat. We need to take him down. I don't want a static. Damn it, Zach. Why did you have to do this? We're lucky he was a lousy fighter pilot. Incoming jump signature. It's a Corvette. Finally. Is it the Warsaw? Negative. It's Terran, but it's not in any ship registry. All vessels within the area, you are declared traitors to the GTVA and are hereby ordered to power down your weapons and engines and prepare to be taken into custody. We are not. Chi-Wings, Nelson, deploy and fire at will. Commencing mission, let's do this. Black Griffins and Irenaeus fighters. These guys are SOC. Why the hell are they indiscriminately attacking everyone in the area then? They think we're with the deserters. SOC ships. This is Lieutenant Alex Miller from the 190th Winged Hussars. Please cease fire. We are not with the Kurans group. We are fighting them as well. SOC vessels. Please cease fire. Alpha Wing is loyal to the GTVA. They're not listening. What the hell do we do? Our last chance is to bring down that AWACS. Maybe we can signal the Warsaw and call for reinforcements. Warsaw, try and back away from the fight, Alpha. Warsaw. We're under attack. Deploy. I repeat. Deploy. GTCV Warsaw entering the area. Whoa, what the hell is going on here? Warsaw, we were fighting these GTVA deserters when the SOC ambushed us. They think we're with them. Tell them to stand down. SOC ships, this is the GTCV Warsaw. Alpha Wing is loyal. I repeat, Alpha Wing is loyal. Stand down immediately. Negative, Warsaw. Your team is supposed to be in LHS 288. Your presence here means you have abandoned your post. Negative, Captain. We found a hidden jump node to ROS 128. We secured it from outlaws and responded to a distress call. That is why we are here. All units, IFF update, the Warsaw and its team are allied. Shift operational parameters accordingly. These guys shot at us, tell. They're hostile. Stand the hell down, Razor. This is an order. SOC ships are disengaging. I wonder what convinced them. They probably knew about the node as well. Disloyal Terran forces wouldn't reveal the backdoor's existence. Ceasefire. We surrender. Treason is a capital offense, deserter. The jury pronounces you guilty. Will Fu static kill you, you son of a bitch. All clear, detecting no more hostiles. SOA. SOC ships in the ass end of Shivan occupied nowhere. Hunting deserters. Doesn't sound like the most efficient use of intelligence resources. That is because it is not what we are doing here, Alpha 4. Then what are you doing here? That is classified. Look, a pair of incoming armored transports. My hunch is that it has something to do with the defleur and the contest. The SOC ships didn't fire a shot at those vessels. As I said, it is classified. We've an incoming jump signature. A single pirate sticks, heavily damaged. Stand down, Alpha. It's one of our undercover operatives. What's your status, Indigo? We're F-static Ed, sir. The Shivans found our fob. The Ruivik is destroyed. I barely got away. Well, this is dire news.
Oi, Falk.
Warsaw, this is not something we would normally ask of regular GTVA security forces, but we will require your aid. Our mission is to take the contest and defleur to GTVA territory. It is not an understatement to say that the future of our alliance depends on our success. We will need to get to Delta Serpentis, then we will have the situation under control.
Hopefully.
Will you aid us? Sure. You can count on us, Captain. My call sign is Tau and you may refer to this ship as the GTCV Kratos. Yes. You can count on us, Tau, but we still need to get debriefed in our Laramis operative HQ. There is nothing left in Laramis, Warsaw. The Shivans have destroyed everything there. Get your men ready, I will fill you in on the details en route. Roger that. Alpha Wing, return to the Warsaw's hangar bay. Zack shot at us. I can hardly believe this, and this deserter fleet, they simply gave up. Zack has always been toxic as hell, but I didn't expect him to actually shoot at us either.
Oh, well, that's crazy for you.
Zack cracked. He made a mistake and it cost him his life. We can only win if we stick together and work as a team. It's true that the Shivans may have 100 Sathanas-class juggernauts crashing down on us. The entire alliance could have fallen by now. These SOC guys look like they have a plan. Our best bet is to go with the flow, follow orders, and have faith in the GTVA. Yeah. Roger that. Our worst fears have come true. Not only did the Shivans attack, GTVA defenses seem to have entirely collapsed, at least within our operational area. The mass desertion attempt we witnessed and managed to stop was clearly an act of desperation. Worse yet, some of our own personnel, including Ensign Zachary Friedman, call sign Zach, seems to have been allured by this treacherous call. Given the fact that Friedman fired upon GTVA vessels, worse yet, his own wingman, in a willing manner, he is posthumously stripped of all ranks, titles, and decorations and dishonorably discharged from the GTVA security forces. Let his fate be an example to everyone pondering similar conduct. I expect loyalty and devotion to the fullest from my personnel.
Read.
The SOC task force tracking the deserter fleet informed us that the traders struck a deal with the local pirates about handing over 2 civilian ships that originate from the RNI shipyard station formerly orbiting Laramis 2. These 2 ships are the Defleur and the Contest. Their exact purpose, the Special Forces commander will detail later. For now, he informed me that their integrity is absolutely vital for the future of the GTVA itself, not just the war effort against the Shivans. Given the fact that everything was destroyed in Laramis and we are unable to make contact with the GTVA command outpost next in line, the Warsaw's group will now assist the SOC forces in their task, then continue to attempt a handshake with our chain of command upon success.
Interesting.
We have no recommendations for you.
So that shit's really starting to go out of hand now. Now our own people are starting to give up. Never a good sign.
I know you didn't expect to be briefed by the ship's captain again, but Commander Korhonen, Sigma, and Beta Wings are already out in the field. That's why I stepped in. Here's the deal, Miller. I've been filled in on the mission of the SOC ships we met yesterday on a need-to-know basis. All I can say is that it really is important to get the Defleur science vessel and the Contest civilian liner and its cargo to back into Allied territory. Like, existentially important. The Warsaw and its team will assist the SOC's team, the Kratos, the Nelson, and whatever's left of their task force in delivering these critical elements to Delta Serpentis. In order to achieve this, we will need to cut through the Shivan-occupied Ross 128 system, wherein we are extremely likely to encounter resistance as we approach the Delta Serpentis node. Although the situation is unclear in Delta Serpentis, it is safe to assume that the system is under Shivan occupation as well, given how it is the epicenter of the alien invasion, housing the Catalyst Olympus node. Our team will approach the Delta Serpentis node with extreme prejudice. This time around, it will be Commander Korhonen, his own Sigma Wing and Lieutenant Tex Duncan's Beta Wing doing recon. They are already on their way to the deployment area as we speak. We won't have time to do a proper preemptive fighter sweep this time around, so we're deploying in full force once the recon report comes back from Sigma and Beta. The Warsaw will take point, while the Tambov and the Suukyi will take up escort formation near the Contest and the Defleur. The Kratos and the Nelson will cover our rear. As you already know, the Nelson is a drone carrier. They will augment our forces with Surtur-class combat drones if necessary.
Well, that's interesting. Drones. Very nice.
Our fighter contingent will respond to the enemy challenge dynamically, but the bottom line is that all fighter wings will need to focus on protecting the civilian assets. Customize your loadout so that it's optimal for an escort mission. The good news is that aside the Myrmidons, Chirons, and Herc 3s, we also managed to salvage an SOC Griffin and an Orines. The Kratos also gave us some Maxims and Trebs, as well as a new experimental anti-fighter weapon called the Subak Alpha and an anti-bomber missile called the Viper that you can equip your ships with.
Ooh.
The SOC's fighters will assist us in our escort mission as well, but they'll operate under a separate command structure and a reduced capacity due to their losses.
Makes sense.
We'll do a full, frontal assault on the Delta Serpentis node and pray that the Shivans are not present in a force that may stop our advance. Not only is the outcome of this mission crucial to the continued survival of the GTVA, but it is also our last, best chance of getting out of Ross 128, possibly breaking through to Allied lines. Do your best, Miller, your team depends on you.
Okay, so protect the contest and the Defleur, and all warships must survive. Alright, well, let's see what we've got now. Okay, so there's a single Arenes. A Griffin. Look at that. I'm definitely gonna grab one of these. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Oh, so I can't swap out. Oh, okay, I see what it is. So let's see, armor is high. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna make that you and that me. Yeah. So we got here the Subak Alpha anti-fighter. Ooh, boy, that looks good. Go with those. Claymore. Oh, you can't carry that. Spear and... There we go. Okay, so now what else do we have? The Maxim cannon. Kaiser, Spear, this X, Subak Alpha. Let's see, range of 1500. I'll definitely go with the Maxim. Wolverine, those are very nice. Just in case, let me just take some Tempests just to be on the safe side. He said 320 of those. Alright,
Sigma
let's do
Wing,
it.
report. What's your status, Commander Corponent? Vlad. Pull up. Evade, evade. They're on me, I can't shake MIA. Vlad. No. Vlad.
No,
The
fly!
Shivans overwhelmed us, Warsaw. Guard, Vlad, and Shark are all dead. Where the hell have you been? Sigma, Beta.
Okay, I like that.
Fall back to the Warsaw immediately. Full power to thrusters, team. Double time back to the Warsaw. I'm not letting the son of a bitch get away after slaughtering my entire squad. Ace, what the hell are you doing? Get back into formation. I'll hold them off, sir. Get the hell out of here. Alpha. Cover the retreat of the commander and Lieutenant Duncan. Go, go. Commander. Tell Jessi, static. Miller, there's a wing of interceptors on us. Get them the hell off our asses.
I like these.
We've taken out those interceptors, Commander. Awaiting orders. I'm hauling my ass back to medical. Captain Nowak will tell you what to do. Korhonen signing off. Roger. Tex, what the hell happened out there?
They got
My
wrecked.
whole damn team went down, Miller. I'm furious. I'm going to strangle this asshole, then we'll talk. Jesus. Miller, Alpha is the Warsaw's only remaining fighter asset, so pay attention. We're hitting the node head on. Your job is to make sure all ships of our formation survive. Lieutenant Miller, I've ordered the Nelson to dispatch 2 drone wings to augment the Warsaw's fighter complement.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
As acting squadron leader of the 190th, they will be under your command. Roger that. Predator wing is armed with anti-fighter guns, Stinger wing is equipped with trebuchet missiles. You can issue orders to them as if they were flesh and blood wingmen. You should take some drones and neutralize the beam cannons of those cruisers, Lieutenant. I urge you not to devote all assets to the task, however, as I am certain the corvette group will soon fall under attack as well. Roger that. The Lilith and its Mara escort is turning in to engage our formation. Alpha, order some drones to take out the forward beam of that Lilith before it tears through our convoy. Incoming Seraphim bombers. They also have 6 Maras providing escort. Intercept them, Alpha. They're targeting the Tambov. They probably want to nullify the warship screen first. And 2 fighter wings. I don't recognize the class. We call it the Kotaka. Seems to be an enhanced version of the Mara fighter. Approach with care. Alpha move, those Nahemis are going for our beam cannons. Intercept and destroy. Lilith forward beam disabled, Warsaw. They're all yours. Seraphim strike neutralized. Tampo in the green. A Moloch is orbiting on the convoy's starboard side. Now that is a job for us. For those flanking formation to engage.
Get him, get him! Gotcha!
Miller, we're being targeted by another wing of Nakima bombers and their fighter escort. Requesting fighter cover.
Alright.
Predator wing has gone dark. Makara objective destroyed. The Lilith is out of the way. The Hylum is out of the picture. Resuming course towards the north. Alpha, Rax Hassa is still an active threat. Redeem the Hayat drive or order your men to do so. The Rax Hassa is going down. Hayat drive objective neutralized.
That's the
Miller,
stuff.
the Shivans have banged us. We lost our main beam cannon. Our anti-warship capabilities are severely reduced. Picking up a massive incoming jump signature. It's the destroyer we met at Sunset Orbital. All ships, avoid that destroyer at all costs. Intercept any fighters or bombers it launches at us. Six Taitakas are launching from the Shivan destroyer, designation Cancer. Another incoming jump signature. 2 of them. They look Terran, but it's the Tuareg. Also,
Uh-oh.
is that the Sikoku? Sikoku. It's the command ship of Alexandria Navarro, the leader of the former isolationist movement. The ship disappeared well before the end of the rebellion. We weren't able to track it down ever since. What the hell is the isolationist command ship doing here? I have no idea.
Hey, they're gonna bait the Shivans
But
and
she's
why
on a
not?
direct attack vector towards our convoy. I have sacrificed too much to rescue them. Too much. This ends here. Several fighters and bombers are launching from the Tuareg. Look, those Shivan Taitaka fighters are switching course and going for the Sikoku's group. Obviously, they are the closer target. Shivans cannot distinguish between various human factions. We should use this opportunity to escape. The Nehem is going for the Kratos are neutralized, sir. Alpha, form a protective screen around our ships. If you have any trebuchets left, you can also take a shot at the Sikoku's main beam. But try sticking close to our formation. More Shivans are launching from the destroyer.
Probably should have gone with. Yeah, probably would have been a good idea to have gone with Trebs for this mission. Yeah.
This is the Warsaw. We've reached the node and are powering up our subspace drive. Alpha, stay behind to cover the rest of our convoy. Roger that, Warsaw. See you on the other side.
Their forward beam, that hectic forward beam has been taken out. Let's do what we do best and let's get the hell out of here. Hurry up and get there as quickly as possible.
Alpha Wing, the Contest, and the Defleur have departed for Delta Serpentis. Move after the ships, we'll be right behind you with the Nelson.
Well, hurry up.
This is not over yet.
dear.
We managed to extract the Defleur and the contest, as well as our whole Corvette group and most of the SOC team to Delta Serpentis intact. This is a
Helpful, very
commendable
helpful.
achievement considering the opposition we faced from the Shivans around the node. Sadly, we suffered immense losses of our fighter contingent during the operation. Most of Commander Korhonen's Sigma Wing and Beta Wing has been wiped out and the Co himself was injured. There is a chance that such losses were caused by personal failure, rather than operational circumstances, which we will investigate. In the meantime, I ask you to stay calm and refrain from judgment.
Not judging.
The fact that we seem to have encountered the Sikoku, the isolationist leader Alexandria Navarro's vessel, is also troubling. Moreover, she seems to have been accompanied by the Tuareg and a large amount of pirate fighters, which affirms our assumption of strong cooperation between the rebel remnant and the outlaw forces in the area. It was known to us that many former isolationist rebels fled prosecution to the Outer Rim and turned to piracy and crime, but their exact scale of influence within the outlaw organizations is still unknown to us. As we make our way through subspace to Delta Serpentis, we cannot help but wonder about the dangers the most likely heavily Shivan-infested system holds for us. Tell, the commander of the SOC contingent, notified me of a rendezvous an allied combat group is going to make with his team. Let us hope for the best outcome during this highly hazardous and dubious undertaking.
Huh. So it looks like there is a lot of treachery afoot here. Interesting. Alright. Ooh. A demon class. Oh dear. No, that wasn't a demon, that was a Ravana, sorry. Not paying attention today.
Commander Korhonen has sustained heavy injuries during his last op and is undergoing medical treatment, so you continue receiving your briefing directly from the captain's desk for now, Lieutenant. The Warsaw's group has made it to Delta Serpentis intact. As we correctly assumed before, the system is heavily Shivan-infested and is devoid of regular allied fighting forces. The lack of any comm signals indicates that all static GTVA infrastructure was destroyed as well, similarly to what we've seen in ROS 128.
Wonderful.
So far, we managed to avoid enemy contact, but we're proceeding with most of our non-essential systems offline to avoid detection, so we're both making slow progress and flying blind.
Oh, that's great.
While regular GTVA forces are gone, Agent Tao, the co of the SOC operation we're assisting, notified me that there's still special forces presence in Delta Serpentis, mostly recon prowlers and a wax teams tracking hostile fleet movements. Using long-range drones, we were able to arrange the meeting with an SOC resupply and recovery operation.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
The GTC Powers, an experimental cruiser of undisclosed class, is slated to meet us in deep space on the edge of the Delta Serpentis system. The Kratos and the rest of the SOC team will be resupplied and replenished. We will also hand over the contest and the Defleur to the Powers team.
Okay, that's good, good.
Having received an intel update from the Powers, the Warsaw's group will proceed towards Allied systems to aid the war effort against the Shivan invasion, if there is still a war effort to speak of. From what we have seen in ROS 128, the Shivans are likely performing an onslaught of GTVA space and Allied defenses are cracking rapidly, as thus, we might as well prepare for the worst.
Okay, so link up with the GTC Powers. I wonder if I can also utilize... Ah, I can. The next... What's this for a weird bug? It doesn't let me... Put the Arenas there, I'll put a Herc there, and myself, so it will be in different fighters. Aww. Try something. This thing can't mount Subox. Huh. Hurry. Oh, wow.
Corvette Group Online, all crews reporting. Sensors reading no sign of the powers anywhere in the area, Captain. That's weird, maybe the Shivans caught them and took them out? Impossible. Picking up no sign of debris, except for remnants of a battle fought weeks ago. So what do we do?
Yeah.
We'll wait patiently. Keep your eyes on your radar. Picking up an incoming jump signature, too. Are they Vasudans?
Ah, nice.
What the hell? How did they get here?
No complaints. If they can join up with us, we'll have an even better... We'll survive even longer.
GTCV Warsaw calling Vasudan vessels. Identify yourselves and please provide an update on your operational parameters. GTCV Warsaw calling Vasudan vessels. We weren't informed of your arrival and your presence is unexpected. Submit your intentions immediately. Why aren't they responding?
Getting blocked from this.
Vasudan vessels, this is the Warsaw. Failing to provide an appropriate response to a hailing GTVA warship is a violation of the Polaris Communication Act and is a sign of hostile intent. Respond or face the consequences. More Vasudan ships are jumping in. A Mentu, a Sobek and a Pharaoh-class destroyer? My god, it's an entire Vasudan battle group. How the hell did we not detect them before? This is Admiral Senkit on board the GVD Rafsanjan, 7th Fleet, 12th Battle Group. We are here to relieve you and take possession of the contest and the defleur. This is Agent Tau from SOC, temporarily in charge of the GTCV Kratos experimental combat vessel. We were not expecting to meet Vasudan ships, Admiral Senkit, and we are not authorized to turn over the contest and the defleur. We understand you were scheduled to meet the GTC Powers, a stealth cruiser. The ship fell under enemy attack and retreated to Beta Aquila.
Oh, jeez, that
Our
sucks.
battle group was ordered to take over the escort operation and direct your combat unit back to Sirius. We have received no such orders, Admiral. These orders come not only from a superior officer, but directly from the GTVA General Assembly, the highest political authority within the Alliance. Transmitting authorization codes and mission parameters.
Hey, should just have done that
I have
first.
a bad feeling about this. I feel the contrary. Finally we are getting relief. In the form of an entire battle group. Finally, we might be able to take a break after all this ludicrous cat and mouse game we've been through. But these are Vasudans.
So what?
So
They're
what?
helping us.
Don't tell me you're one of these racist anti-F sympathizers.
Yeah.
Vasudans are our greatest allies and have been reliable partners for over 50 years.
There, now shut the fuck up.
I know. I mean, Kyle told me that, no. Listen. Forget it, Prince. We've received and analyzed the comm codes and mission parameters, Rafsanjan. Everything checks out. Turning over the contest and the defleur now. Roger that, Kratos. Contest, defleur, assume departure formation. We've been through hell to get these ships out of Laramis, Admiral Senkit. I trust your guys will take good care of them. We will, Captain Nowak. We understand the situation is quite dire in the Ross 128 Laramis Lewitt and 726 to 8 quadrant. However, we have better news from this end of GTVA space. We're all ears, Admiral. Combined GTVA forces have halted the Shivan advance through Beta Aquila and Sirius. There is also a large counterattack being assembled in Deneb, with the intent to push towards the Delta Serpentis node. In addition, this Shivan invasion doesn't seem to be of a scale similar to the Gamma Draconis incursion. So far, we have identified only a single Sathanas-class juggernaut spearheading the enemy force.
Oh, only
All
one.
in all, our military leadership thinks we have a good chance of halting the Shivan advance this time, but Allied forces will need all the help they can get. We have cleared the node to Sirius, so you now have a window of opportunity to link up with Allied forces there. This is indeed good news.
Oh.
Seeing the collapse in Ross 128, we were starting to think the entire GTVA fell in one quick push. The situation is dire, but the leadership of the GTVA has a sound plan. The Shivans will be driven from our space. Well, you heard the Admiral. We'll be traveling to Sirius to assist the Allied war effort, then we will join the counterattack to Delta Serpentis. Sounds like a plan, sir. We wish you the best of luck. Rafsanjan departed. We'll also be going our separate ways, Warsaw. Thank you for the help of your entire team. We'll make sure that word of your contribution reaches the right ears.
Yeah,
Roger
would be
that,
nice.
Kratos. We sincerely hope that we were able to make a difference. So do we, Captain. Godspeed. Hey, Lieutenant Miller. Before we go, a word, please. Yes. We got off on the wrong foot. Ross 128 was a mess. We lost a lot of good people. But we most probably wouldn't have made it out alive if it wasn't for you. Well, glad to be of service. Listen. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's some major political turmoil brewing high up in the GTVA. Seriously. How does that concern me? You'll see. All I wanna say is that I guess we owe you one. I was just doing my duty, sir.
Interesting.
Call me Razor. Listen. I'm going to give you access to an encrypted comms network we use to send transmissions across solar systems. If shit hits the fan, and you will definitely know it when it does, use my access codes to call for help. Then, we'll be square.
Nice.
Thanks. Razor. Take care, hotshot. Well, you too. Everything okay, Lieutenant? Yeah, I just... Well, forget it. Alpha Wing, return to the Warsaw's fighter bay, then we'll be on our way as well.
Finally. The student battle groups now finally getting involved. Should make our lives a little bit easier as well.
We've done our job for the SOC, Lieutenant Miller. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Whatever we hauled out from Ross 128 and Laramis couldn't have been worth the lives we lost, given how easily those two ships were just handed over to the first random GTVA battle group we encountered. I know and I feel you, but I'm absolutely certain that there's a plan in motion here in which I am not involved either. You can never know it with these intelligence folks. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I still cannot elaborate what exactly we pulled out from those systems, but I think you'll know soon enough. We are now heading towards the Sirius jump node. The Vasudans claim to have secured the area and we're moving with our non-essential systems dark, so I'm hoping that we can get to Allied lines without being jumped by a Shivan hunter-killer team.
Yeah, that's all you need.
You're
right
surprised, huh? I mean, that the GTVA is still holding on to most of its territory. I know, many of you have been thinking that the entire alliance collapsed by now. I'll admit, I had similar fears. Make no mistake, this means that the fight is still going on, with no guaranteed outcome. Our duty, as soldiers however, is to make sure that we will fight with fang and claw until either we push the Shivans out of our space or die trying. At least 3 systems were essentially wiped out. Their inhabitants dead. Many more may see a similar fate if we don't give this fight everything we've got. Millions of lives may depend on how we proceed, Lieutenant. I know we lost a lot of good men, but you'll have to keep your guys in shape if we are to win this war. The past few days have proven that I am right to place my trust in you. Make me and the memory of those we lost proud.
Alright. Man, this is gonna start getting hectic.
Incoming fleet-wide transmission. Sender ID, Fleet Admiral Katsuichi Togo, GTD Vespasian, Co. 4th Fleet, GTVA. Subject, Turning Point. To all GTVA security forces personnel fighting the Shivan incursion around Delta Serpentis. I am writing this message to ask you not to give in to despair. The turning point in this unexpected war against the Shivan invaders is approaching, and we have a plan to achieve final victory against the alien invasion force. Despite the initial setbacks, the GTVA is now stronger than ever and is preparing to strike back, ending the so-called destroyer's menace once and for all.
No, don't think that way. Don't think that way.
There's no denying that this third Shivan attack caught us by surprise. Our scientists did not expect the newly constructed Olympus node in Delta Serpentis to malfunction in the catastrophic way it did. We still don't know exactly what happened, but the most likely hypothesis points to some sort of subspace anomaly, stemming from a major error in our understanding of the Gnosis technology that we used as a template. Right after activating Olympus, we were invaded by a Shivan armada that destroyed much of Delta Serpentis, Ross 128 and Laramis, causing millions of deaths in the process.
Good grief.
Despite these tragic losses, it is to my greatest pleasure to report that we managed to halt the Shivan advance in Beta Aquila and Sirius. This means that our most populated systems are still secure. This is in no small part thanks to the rapid fleet reconstruction effort we begun right after Capella, the technological advancements we made, and the mobilization
nailed.
of our reserve forces all across the GTVA. Thanks to intelligence operatives on both the Terran and Vasudan side, we were also able to determine that the Shivan invasion fleet is altogether much smaller in size than the one that hit Capella 11 years ago. So far, we have identified only a single Sathanas-class juggernaut and about a dozen destroyer-sized vessels ravaging our space.
Yo.
The GTVA has a good fighting chance, already proven by the fact that the Shivan invasion was stopped dead in its tracks. We have a superior number of heavy-hitter capital ships, and we are fielding several new technology pieces the Shivans have not encountered during the Second Shivan War. Some of them are so new, they weren't even employed against the isolationist insurgency. Our strike fleets have been equipped with several new, experimental weapons still in development. Combat assignments in the following days will also heavily feature field trials of said technology pieces.
I wonder if we'll get that new super back. That was pretty awesome.
New Shivan ships have appeared within the enemy fighting force, however, none of them seem to pose a cataclysmic threat level when acting alone. I have sent an update to your database containing all newly encountered Shivan vessels, as well as their known roles within the enemy force. The only field where Shivans seem to have achieved a higher degree of technological advancement compared to our last encounter with the hostile race is fighter technology. Fighter pilots, as well as warship captains, should take heed when approaching the highly mobile interceptor we have classified as Wraith, the heavily armored Gorgon and the Taitaka, an enhanced space superiority fighter. Reports exist of new bomber threats and smaller warships as well, but we have not yet encountered destroyers more potent than the Ravana or Juggernaut level threats over a single Sathanas class. Several GTVA strike fleets are assembling in Deneb, Beta Aquila, and Alpha Centauri to mount a counter-offensive against the Shivan invaders. 1st Fleet, 2nd Fleet, 4th Fleet, 6th Fleet and 7th Fleet are committing most of their assets to the cause, enabling us to use a highly potent, combined fighting force against the Shivan Armada.
Will it be enough?
The overarching plan is simple: we will secure Beta Aquila and Sirius, then push the alien invaders back to the Olympus node. The GTVA Security Council has already established a complex strategy by which participating fleets will coordinate their actions, one that we have a high hope of taking to success. We are now calling for all GTVA fighting forces in and around Sirius and Beta Aquila, as well as any potential survivors from Delta Serpentis, Laramis, and Ross 128 to rendezvous with our main strike fleets at the coordinates I have attached to this message. We will integrate any stragglers, solo actors, or survivors of decimated fleets into our offensive force if possible, then we will proceed to secure victory together. We have a good strategy, potent technology, and a large fleet. We have been preparing to face the Shivans for a 3rd time, even if the method of their arrival was unexpected. This time, however, we will win. All I am asking for you is to have faith and fight like hell. The survival of the GTVA rests on our shoulders, my fellow comrades. Let us give these so-called destroyers a beating that they will never, ever even think of invading our space again. Admiral K. Togo, 4th Fleet Co. Transmission ends.
Nice speech and all that, but the Shivans don't care. They don't care. They'll just wipe us out.
No doubt you have read the fleet-wide communique originating from the GTD Vespasian, Fleet Admiral Togo's flagship, confirming that a large-scale GTVA counterattack is on its way to push the Shivans out of Terran Vasudan space. The Admiral also designated several rally points where straggling ships, like us, can link up with the offensive contingent.
Very nice.
Having made our way to Sirius, a system still heavily besieged by the Shivan invasion force, we will be heading towards the nearest rally point, where the Vespasian's arrival is to be expected. We will link up with the 4th Fleet Strike Group at the rally point and transfer all our combat-capable assets to Admiral Togo's command. It is unlikely that our entire corvette group will be able to join, due to the heavy damage we sustained during our operations in Ross 128. Given the contested nature of Sirius, it is highly likely that we will have to fight the Shivans in some shape or form. We cannot waste any time running with our ships in the dark, but if the Admiral's promised strike fleet is on the offensive, we should be able to withstand enemy fire until help arrives.
Or at least that's what we hope.
It should be noted that as long as Commander Korhonen is in medical, you are the acting co of the 190th, Lieutenant Miller. Sadly, the only operation-ready fighter wing we have is Alpha right now. However, we still have a wing of Surtur combat drones in our bay that we received from the Nelson earlier. Designated Predator Wing, these combat drones are equipped with an anti-fighter and bomber intercept loadout. Utilize them to the best of your abilities.
Alright, so we need to meet the fleet, and the Warsaw group must survive. Damn it. You serious? No Subak? Oh, we do have a Subak Alpha. Okay. Anti-bomber. Ooh, like that.
This is the GTD formidable to all ships in the vicinity. The rally point is compromised. We need immediate cover. My God. The formidable. My boyfriend serves on that vessel. I must know if we'll have time for sentimentals after we save that vessel, Harris. GTCV Warsaw calling the GTD formidable. We're deploying fighter wings to render assistance. Hold on. That's not the Vespasian's fleet though, right? No, the formidable is not a 4th fleet ship. They are probably here to answer Admiral Togo's call as well. Man, that Desi looks like it's been through hell. Caution, everyone. A wing of Torvis and a wing of Maras is switching course for the Warsaw.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Guess I need to take out its forward beam cannons.
Alpha, we're engaging the Nama, the short-class corvette first. Please disable the ship's forward beam cannon before they get in range.
This one, yeah. Oh,
Careful, Alpha. Another wing of Maras is taking off from the Dagon.
all sorts of beam
Alpha.
turrets.
We won't be able to withstand continued fire from that Shivan corvette. Disable the Nama's main beam cannon.
I'm trying.
The Nama is defend. Captain. Warsaw group in the green. Focus on the bombers targeting the formidable Alpha. The Nama is altering its course. They're most likely attempting to escape. This is a Shivan warship. Do they even do that? They most likely have some sort of sense of self-preservation too, pilot. We on the other hand, will not let them get away. Gunnery 2, lock the turrets on that short class. Sir. Another wing of Seraphims taking off from the Dagon. They're looking to hit the formidable.
Oh, it's doing quite a lot of damage. This one is another problem now I need to take care of.
Nama objective eliminated. Warsaw combat group switching for the Gamagen next. Warsaw and Ravanna's beams are going to keep us alive if they get in range. Please help. Alpha, go and disable that Ravanna's forward beam cannons.
Done it.
We'll concentrate on the cruisers. The Dagon's main beams are destroyed. Excellent job, Alpha.
14 cannons.
Alpha.
We've got these ones
More
as well.
Seraphims are launching from the Dagon. Detecting multiple incoming jump signatures. Friendlies. Admiral Togo's strike wave. Magnificent. We might just live to see another day after all. This is the GTD Vespasian calling all allied vessels. Fourth fleet. Strike group Martel is online and ready for game. What's the situation? This is the GTD formidable. You're put down by a Shivan destroyer group. Please assist. Roger that. We're scrambling a wing of Sarasa strike bombers and a wing of Emirs to disarm those ships until our beams get in range. Alpha, Beta, those bombers will most likely need cover from Shivan interceptors. Go and protect ETA and Iota wings as they make their bombing run. Alpha, wing of Briggs and a wing of Astaroths are taking off from the Dagon. Intercept and destroy. Launching a wing of slave mirror interceptors to assist in rendering the fighters free.
Oh, there's another beam turret to be destroyed.
Keep up the pressure. All ships, stand clear of the blast zone. Shivan forces are defeated. The day is ours.
Good
Excellent
job, everyone.
Everyone. This is the first important step towards a final victory over the invaders. We sure showed them, didn't we, guys? I can hardly believe this, sir. We even brought down a Shivan destroyer. Quite the welcome change after having spent the last few days running from them.
Yeah, it is
Indeed.
quite nice.
This has been a major step towards avenging all the people we lost in Ross 128. I am proud of you, guys. Let us hope it has merely been a first step, as Admiral Toko suggested, sir. The GTD Formidable and her crew thanks you today for your intervention, GTCV Warsaw. Without your aid, this ship would be destroyed, its crew dead. Our pleasure, Formidable. We were glad to do our part. Now, I believe we have an ensign here who wants to ask you something. Permission granted to speak, Harris. Thank you, sir. GTD Formidable, Lieutenant Kyle Spencer, call sign Dice is assigned to your ship, as far as I am aware. I would like to know whether you have any information about his whereabouts. Oh, Dice, of course. He is quite a phenomenon among our fighter corps. I regret to inform you that he went missing during our initial contact with the Shivans in Delta Serpentis.
Good cover.
Missing? Initial contact? May I know what happened, sir?
Classified.
You may already know that the current Shivan invasion is due to the Olympus jump gate malfunctioning. We switched on the gate and the Shivans poured out. The Formidable was assigned to guard the gate, in case something went wrong. Well, it did. The Shivans overwhelmed us in minutes. I gave the order to pull out. Dice and his own Alpha Wing never caught up with us. We are not sure what exactly happened. They might have stayed behind. Delta Serpentis collapsed in hours. We aided the rescue effort for a while, then jumped to Sirius. So you just left them behind? What the hell? Ensign Harris. Mind your manners. You are talking to a superior officer. Yes, sir, sorry, sir. I apologize that I got carried away. Dice was my boyfriend. We've had a Sathanas and half a dozen Shivan destroyers crashing down on us, Ensign. I am responsible for the lives of thousands of officers and crew. It was a tough call to make, but the only one that made sense. Size, thank you for all this information, sir. I'm sorry, Harris. Alpha, heads up. We have reached an understanding with Admiral Togo and are going to transfer the Winged Hussars over to the GTCA Aegean. What? Why? The Warsaw and our escort cruisers have suffered heavy damage during the past few days and are in no shape to continue combat ops. Admiral Togo, however, will need all competent fighter pilots he can get, especially officers. The Winged Hussars will continue operation as a standalone squadron of the GTCA Aegean and will be replenished with new men and materiel. Admiral Togo's team will fill you in on the details. I understand, sir. It has been an honor serving with you. It's been my pleasure, Lieutenant Miller. Let's agree to meet again in Delta Serpentis and have a beer after the war. Until then, best of luck to all of you. Roger that, Captain. Alright, team. Let's go and dock up with the Aegean, I guess. Missed me, Miller. Tex. Is that really you? I'm glad to see you're back in the cockpit. Are you okay? No, man. Welcome to the GTCA Aegean, Lieutenant Miller, your new home. I am glad to be able to welcome you among our flight crew after such a significant victory, and as Admiral Togo pointed out, the turning point in our war against the Shivan invaders. Saving the Formidable was not an easy task, but you managed to impress. 6,000 officers and crew are grateful for your quick thinking and swift action, not to mention the firepower an Achilles class can bring to bear once it's repaired.
That's true.
The commanding officer of the warship, Vice Admiral Peterson, would also like to extend his gratitude to you and your team. We also managed to destroy the Dagon, a Ravana-class destroyer, and several smaller ships of its combat group, which should make our job easier in securing the remainder of the Sirius system. No doubt you have questions about your transfer to our carrier. The reason for this decision you are already familiar with. The Warsaw's group has suffered extensive structural damage and will be returning to Deneb for repairs. However, we need all competent officers and fighter pilots we can muster for our counter-offensive, so Captain Nowak agreed to transfer all surviving members of the Winged Hussars to the Aegean, including Tex Duncan and Commander Korhonen.
Oh, okay.
Captain Lambros, Co of the Aegean, will brief you personally about how your unit will fit into our hierarchy and what your exact role will be prior to your next combat assignment. For now, welcome on board.
Okay, so we've gone from being on a Corvette
We have no welcome to the
now
GT.
over to a proper carrier. So this should be interesting.
Welcome to the GTCA Aegean, Lieutenant Miller. I am Captain Lambros, Co of this vessel. You and your squadron will receive your briefings directly from my desk during your stay. Your new home will be the GTVA's newest Odin-class carrier, one that is kitted out with many advanced pieces of equipment compared to the ship's tragically lost sister ship, the Fursetti. Our carrier houses next-gen command and control, electronic warfare, and combat systems, as well as a new fighter bay with extended capacity.
Okay.
This vessel is home to 20 fighter squadrons, almost 2 times the capacity of a Hecate-class destroyer. Our original fighter squadrons have taken significant losses during our engagements with the initial Shivan attack waves, as thus, we called in a large number of reservists to fill up the ranks. The Winged Hussars will be reorganized and filled up with new personnel to formulate a full multi-role fighter squadron.
Okay.
This means that you will have access to a wide range of equipment, including heavy fighters, bombers, and interceptors, as well as experimental equipment undergoing field testing. With this flexibility, we hope to respond to the dynamic threat range the Shivan fleet poses during our combat missions.
Oh, nice. Lots of toys to play with.
Given your experience in dealing with the Shivans and the fact that we desperately need independently capable officers, you will be given command authority over the operations of the Winged Hussars.
Oh.
Your exact roles will vary and will be outlined during individual mission briefings. However, it should be emphasized that we will be placing you into a command role that equals the authority of your former Commander Korhonen. Commander Korhonen will be reassigned to the Vespasian, serving under the direct command of Admiral Togo. Alpha Wing will also be reorganized. You will retain your wingmen, Ensign Liana Harris and Ensign Juan Prince Castillo. Second Lieutenant Ted Tex Duncan, the Co of Beta Wing will join you as Alpha 4 and will be under your direct command. With all this, I am also delighted to announce that your rank will be elevated to fit the role of a more senior officer. Effective immediately, you are promoted to Lieutenant Commander.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As part of Strike Force Martel, under the instructions of Fleet Admiral Togo, the Aegean will proceed to take part in high-risk, critically important missions that will directly influence the outcome of our war against the Shivans. You should be already familiar with the general outlines of our war plan. With a combined GTVA strike force, we will secure Sirius and Beta Aquila, then proceed to push the Shivan invaders back to the Olympus Gate. We have high hopes for you and your team, Lieutenant Commander Miller. From what we have gathered, the Winged Hussars have surveyed hell out there in Ross 128. We hope to rely greatly on your experience in fighting the new Shivan threat to deliver final victory against the incursion force.
That seems legit.
At 0815 today, Strike Force Martel picked up a distress signal from Shah Massoud Orbital, a complex of 3 residential installations orbiting a planet of the same name. The complex is under attack by a Shivan Demon-class destroyer, designation Psaglov. Admiral Togo decided to deploy the GTCA Aegean to the area to neutralize the threat. While most residents of Shah Massoud complex have been evacuated in a GTVA military operation a few days ago, some locals refuse to leave. The presence of the Psaglov puts these people into mortal danger.
Really, you don't say.
The primary reason why the Admiral decided not to leave these stubborn civilians to their fate is that an allied AWACS team detected traces of this new Shivan invasion force's only known Sathanas-class juggernaut in the area. We believe that if we engage the Psaglov without deploying our entire strike force, there is a chance that the elusive super capital will come to the destroyer's aid, presenting us an opportunity to eliminate what we believe to be the Shivan invasion force's central command entity. If the Sathanas enters the fray, Strike Force Martel will deploy in full force. Admiral Togo has also negotiated for help from the GVD Nekkan, a Vasudan Hatshepsut-class destroyer and its battle group. The Nekkan is a veteran of the isolationist insurrection we won a few months ago. Since crushing the rebellion, they have been placed under the direct command of the Vasudan Emperor and their battle group re-equipped with a full Vasudan ship line. Their assistance should be critical during this operation.
We can take down a Sathanas even better.
As for your exact role in this mission, Lieutenant Commander Miller, you will be leading a strike force of various ships departing from the Aegean. Your focus will be twofold. First, you will need to preserve the integrity of the stations of Shah Massoud complex. Second, you will need to deal as much damage to the Psaglov as possible. For this mission, you will be authorized to use a complex set of reinforcements offering you a diverse set of assets.
Okay, interesting.
Kappa Wing will be standing by with a wing of Sleipnir interceptors. Call them in if you need them to eliminate bombers or fighters. Theta is equipped with Sarasa strike bombers, with trebuchets, and Akitone guns. They are specialized in taking down subsystems, but they should be able to help against any hostile capital ships as well. Zeta is a wing of Griffin heavy fighters, best used for defensive assignments. We also brought a pair of Njord-class artillery cruisers out of retirement. The GTC Gidron and the GTC Nomad will be armed with experimental torpedoes. These cruisers will be not much use against anything but the Psaglov, so call them in only if you're planning to hit the destroyer head-on.
After disarming it.
It is highly likely that the Shivans will respond if you bring in backup with their own assortment of reinforcement ships. If intel is to be believed, the nearby Sathanas probably has several combat vessels on standby, while the Psaglov 2 has a fighter bay. It is probable that the Shivans will deploy in full force if you try to swarm their formation with reinforcements early into the engagement. Also, if you elect to call in a certain reinforcement package, remember that you are in command of said vessels, thus, you will have to assign them orders in a way that maximizes the combat utility of various ship types. As for your objectives, the Psaglov will be attacking Shah Massoud complex, which is not a single installation, but rather an administrative constellation consisting of 3 smaller orbital districts, Baklon, Panjshir, and Zaranjay. Several hundred people still reside on these installations, as thus, your primary objective will be to prevent the destruction of the entire complex.
Okay.
If the opportunity presents itself, attack the Psaglov and try to inflict as much damage as possible on the destroyer. You may destroy the vessel if you believe that it would be the best course of action, however, it might result in the Sathanas not showing up altogether, which would be a less than desirable outcome. The Aegean houses a wide range of assets, including various types of fighters and bombers. You have access to these ships for your own Alpha Wing as well, Lieutenant Commander.
Oh.
Most of these equipment pieces, you should already be familiar with. As far as I am informed, you already had the opportunity to field test the Subak Alpha and the Viper missile. You will also have access to the Jackhammer, a high-speed anti-capital ship bomb, which is extremely difficult to intercept. With all this in mind, we recommend that you fly interceptors to efficiently handle the large distances between the 3 districts. We also expect bombers to compose the main strike wing of the Psaglov.
Oh, this is going to be a hectic one. Alright, so they want us to use interceptors. Ah, this one, yes. Yes! Well. Versus him. Gun mounts 10. I'm gonna go with one of these. It's off though. One more room. No damage though. Is that all that we have? Viper? What is this? Power store. TNP.
Ooh, that's the stuff. Cyclops. Damage is 4,000. What is this one? This is things. 4,000 versus 13,600. Yeah, I think it's probably worthwhile going with that. But that can't carry it. Can't even carry rock arts. Yo. Harpoons. Show. Yeah, let's go with that.
Alpha Wing, we're reading a Shivan bomber formation targeting Zaranjay district. Advise you begin your operation with eliminating the threat. The formation is headed by a Vindhyakal class super heavy bomber. According to our intel, a single ship of its kind is enough to tear the installation down. Reinforcements are at your disposal, Alpha 1. Call them in at your discretion, but remember not to spend all your assets in a single push. Roger that, Command. Alpha Wing moving to engage. Hey Tex, welcome to Alpha Wing. Yeah, welcome to the team. Tex, us feeling any better? And you, Harris? I'm good. I'm pissed as hell for sure, but I'll enjoy kicking these sons of bitches back to whatever shithole they came from with you guys. For Shark, Lad, and all the others we lost. Kappa Wing has launched. We're at your location in 15 seconds, Alpha. Psychile is dead, despite anything you guys might say to cheer me up. But I know I have to be strong. I will be. I am a soldier, after all. I feel your pain and frustration, guys. I know we can't bring them back, but we sure can avenge them. We're not stopping until we'll push these damn Shivans out of GTVA space forever. Command, we have intercepted the first Shivan bomber strike. Belphegor 1 and Cancer Wing are down. Affirmative, Alpha. We're far from done. Make sure you plan the usage of your assets accordingly. There's another Vindhyachal arriving with the wing of Nehemas. Remember, guys, there are people still left on those installations. We need to take these bombers out before they do any real damage. Be advised, Alpha, a wing of Astaroths has taken off from the Psaglov. They're moving to provide cover to the Shivan bomber teams. Reading some good kills, Alpha. Excellent job. Another wave approaching. Looks
Yes.
like a new bomber class. We call it the Yelai. It's a medium bomber armed with a pair of forward-facing beam cannons. Heads up, fellas. There's a wing of Taitaka's guard in that bomber strike. I say we tackle those guys first. Careful, Alpha. We have reports of Yalas using their beams to fend off wing receptors. Try to avoid hitting those bombers head on. Zeta Wing here, we're mobile, warping to your location, Alpha. Ready for orders in 10 seconds.
Ooh. I like this.
Another incoming Vindhyachal strike, Alpha. Intercept Belphegor 3 and its accomplices. My god, why didn't these people just leave when they had the chance? These husks of metal are completely defenseless. Alpha Wing, the Shivans have brought in a Lilith-class cruiser. Destroy that ship's forward beam cannon before it hits any of the civilian stations. Also, note the Gorgon wing it brought along, designation Virgo. They say the locals are exceptionally patriotic and defiant, Prince. It goes back for generations. Alpha Wing, the Psaglov is launching a wing of Torvus under Taitaka escort. Intercept Sexton's wing. Heads up, team. Another wing of Yali beam bombers incoming. That gives us quite an example to follow, doesn't it? Heads up, Mara's incoming.
Woo!
Great
That's
job.
gotta hurt.
The Sarkinate is escaping. Switch targets. Team. Detecting another wing of Astaroths taking off from the stock line. Designation Crux. We're picking up 2 wings of Maras, moving to engage our fast movers. The Shivans have destroyed Backlon Station. Not detecting any escape pods.
Okay, that wasn't important. Woohoo! Okay, this bomber is just like insanely overpowered.
We're picking up a larger incoming strike force approaching in subspace, Alpha. Repair and reload if you have the chance. Zaranjay station has been destroyed. My god, thousands could have died in the blink of an eye. Don't cry, man, but we still have active hostiles to deal with.
Well, that's the problem. There's just too many of them to deal with at
Picking
once.
up multiple bomber wings approaching in a single formation.
Oh, come on.
They are on an attack vector towards Panjshir. This must be their biggest and final push. You know the drill, team. Intercept fighters, shoot down bombs. This is the GTC Gidron and the GTC Nomad. We're beginning the bombardment of the Bzaglob. Wish us luck. This is the GTC Gidron. We're detecting an incoming wing of Torvi bombers. We'd appreciate some cover. Theta wing online. Jumping to you with ordnance focused on taking out turrets. Just give us a target, sir. Panjshir district has been destroyed. Man. The Shivans have wiped all 3 orbital districts from the face of the universe. We cannot allow such a massacre to happen without dire consequences, Alpha. This mission is over.
What?
The Shivans have wiped out all 3 stations that compose Shah Massoud orbital. It is true that these installations should have been abandoned. It is also true that protecting these stations was not our main objective. However, there were hundreds of civilians still on board those orbital districts and now they are all dead. This massacre could have been the most common way this mission is failed is that pilots call in reinforcements too early or in an inefficient manner. The Shivans will try responding to you deploying extra assets with their own reinforcements, but as time goes on, their capacity to do so decreases. Try to intercept the first few waves on your own. Call in Kappa to fight bombers, call in Zeta to protect stations. It is not recommended to call in either the bombers or the missile cruisers until the end of the mission. Also, make sure you give orders to your reinforcement wings, as they will not know what to do by default. You are the commander of this operation.
Okay, so
plan your strategy accordingly.
Okay, so let's...
At
I think for this one, I think it'll be right to go with the appropriate one.
Alpha Wing, we're reading a Shivan bomber formation targeting Zaranjay district. Advise you begin your operation with eliminating the threat. The formation is headed by a Vindhyakal class super heavy bomber. According to our intel, a single ship of this kind is enough to tear the installation down. Reinforcements are at your disposal, Alpha 1. Call them in at your discretion, but remember not to spend all your assets in a single push. Roger that, Command. Alpha Wing moving to engage. Hey Tex, welcome to Alpha Wing. Yeah, welcome to the team. Tex us feeling any better? I'm good. I'm good as hell for sure, but I'll enjoy taking these sons of bitches back to what whatever shithole they came from with you guys. Or Shark, Vlad, and all the others we lost. Psychile is dead, despite anything you guys might say to cheer me up. But I know I have to be strong. I will be. I am a soldier, after all. I feel your pain and frustration, guys. I know we can't bring them back, but we sure can avenge them. We're not stopping until we'll push these damn Shivans out of GTVA space forever.
Agreed.
Command, we have intercepted the first Shivan bomber strike, Belphegor 1 and Cancer Wing are down. Affirmative, Alpha. We're far from done, make sure you plan the usage of your assets accordingly. There's another Vindhyachal arriving with the wing of Nehemas. Remember, guys, there are people still left on those installations. We need to take these bombers out before they do any real damage. Be advised, Alpha, a wing of Astaroths has taken off from the Psaglov. They're moving to provide cover to the Shivan bomber teams. Kappa wing has launched. We're at your location in 15 seconds, Alpha.
Ooh, ow, that hurt. That really hurt a lot.
Reading some good kills, Alpha. Excellent job. Another wave approaching. Looks like a new bomber class. We call it the Yelot. It's a medium bomber armed with a pair of forward-facing beam cannons. Heads up, fellas. There's a wing of Taitakas guard in that bomber strike. I say we tackle those guys first. Careful, Alpha. We have reports of Galas using their wings to fend off interceptors. Strike before hitting those bombers head on. Another incoming Vindhyachal strike, Alpha. Intercept Belphegor 3 and its Nehema accomplices. My god, why didn't these people just leave when they had the chance? These husks of metal are completely defenseless. They say the locals are exceptionally patriotic and defiant. Friends. It goes back for generations. That gives us quite an example to follow, doesn't it? Heads up, team. Another wing of Yali beam bombers incoming. Heads up, Mara's incoming.
Oh Jesus, not looking good.
Detecting another wing of Astaroths taking off from the Psaglov. Designation Crux.
Come on, everyone. Whoa. yeah, these fighters have just got no armor whatsoever.
Alpha Wing, we're reading a Shivan bomber formation targeting Zaranjay district. Advise you begin your operation with eliminating the threat. The formation is headed by a Vindhyakal class super heavy bomber. According to our intel, a single ship of its kind is enough to tear the installation down. Reinforcements are at your disposal, Alpha 1. Call them in at your discretion, but remember not to spend all your assets in a single push. Roger that, Command. Alpha Wing moving to engage. Hey Tex, welcome to Alpha Wing. Yeah, welcome to the team. Tex us feeling any better? And you, Paris? I'm good. I'm pissed as hell for sure, but I'll enjoy kicking these sons of bitches back to whatever shitballs came from with you guys. Or Shark, Flag, and all the others we lost. Psychile is dead, despite anything you guys might say to cheer me up. But I know I have to be strong. I will be. I am a soldier, after all. Command, we have intercepted the first Shivan bomber strike, Belphegor 1 and Cancer Wing are down. I feel your pain and frustration, guys. I know we can't bring them back, but we sure can avenge them. We're not stopping until we'll push these damn Shivans out of GTVA space forever. Affirmative, Alpha. We're far from done, make sure you plan the usage of your assets accordingly. There's another Vindhyachal arriving with the wing of the heavens. Remember, guys, there are people still left on those installations. We need to take these bombers out before they do any real damage. Be advised, Alpha, a wing of Astaroths has taken off from the Psaglov. They're moving to provide cover to the Shivan bomber teams. Reading some good kills, Alpha. Excellent job.
Too bad the damn support chips don't do any days that would make our lives a lot easier.
Another wave approaching. Looks like a new bomber class.
Come on, hurry up.
We call it the Yelai. It's a medium bomber armed with a pair of forward-facing beam cannons.
Oh god, tell me the
Heads up, fellas.
oh, great, the damn
There's a
support
wing
chip
of
doesn't
Taitaka's
bloody
guard
work.
in that bomber strike.
These
I
things
say
are
we
useless
tackle
sometimes.
those guys first. Careful, Alpha. We have reports of Yalis using their beams to fend off interceptors. Try to avoid hitting those bombers head-on.
How's that supposed to be fair?
Another incoming Vindhyachal strike, Alpha. Intercept Belphegor 3 and its Nihilo accomplices.
God almighty, just fuck off. We're very trying to deal with these guys.
god, why didn't these people just leave when they had the chance? These husks of metal are completely defenseless. Heads up, team. Another wing of Yali beam bombers incoming. They say the locals are exceptionally patriotic and defiant, friends. It goes back for generations. Kappa wing has launched. We're at your location in 15 seconds, Alpha. That gives us quite an example to follow, doesn't it? Detecting another wing of Astaroths taking off from the Psaglov. Designation Crux. Heads up, Mars incoming. Subspace, Alpha. Repair and reload if you have the chance.
I'm trying, but it doesn't
Command,
bloody
but
work.
we still have active hostiles to deal with. Picking up multiple bomber wings approaching in a single formation. They are on an attack vector towards Panjshir. This must be their biggest and final push. You know the drill, team. Intercept fighters, shoot down bombs.
I wish these spiders had that glide feature. That thing's quite useful.
Taken down the main strike force of the Shivans, command.
Woo. Checkpoint, please.
Roger that, Alpha. Great job. The Psaglov is getting ready to hit the stations on its own. Now is your time to strike. If you have any remaining assets left, deploy them. Hit that destroyer with everything you've got. This is the GTC Gidron and the GTC Nomad. We're beginning the bombardment of the Psaglov. Wish us luck. Theta Wing online. Jumping to you with ordnance focused on taking out turrets, just give us a target, sir.
They got this little beacon. Great. Alright, perfect.
Multiple incoming jump signatures. It's a carrier formation. It's the Canis carrier group. They're assigned to the Necans fleet. We weren't notified of their arrival, but this is the GVCA. The Necans battle group has located the SJ Sapnas. We are requesting help from their forces. Affirmative, enemy. What is the composition of the enemy force? Unknown. We weren't with the Necan when they made contact and we came here first to notify you. We will finish the Psaglov. You should proceed to engage the Sapnas. Roger that. We will link up with the rest of Strike Force Martel and proceed to the target area. Affirmative. We are transmitting the coordinates right now. Receive. All fighters, proceed to orbit the designated coordinates.
Right, let's move out, let's move out, let's move out.
Great job on your first mission with Strike Force Martel, Lieutenant Commander Miller. You have proven yourself to be a decisive and efficient field commander. You defeated the Psaglov and its strike force. Even though beating the Shivan warship proved to be unnecessary in our goal to track down the SJ Sathanas, it gave us a victory to celebrate and one less Shivan destroyer to worry about.
Very true.
You also managed to save all the districts of Shah Massoud orbital colony. This is commendable, especially seeing how this was not necessarily your main objective. The locals were stubborn. They refused to leave. They would have all been massacred without your intervention and you saved them all. This gives us good press and our pilots a morale boost. This shows that the GTVA protects its citizens, regardless of difference in opinions or mentality. Strike Force Martel will now assemble and join the GVD Necans battle group to attack and defeat the SJ Sathanas. Our preliminary intel suggests that the Juggernaut has an entire Shivan battle fleet guarding it, so we will
grief.
deploy in full force. Once we eliminate the Shivan juggernaut, our chances of retaking Delta Serpentis and with it, the Olympus node should rise significantly, so we will need to give this mission everything we've got.
Ooh. Oh, going for the big guns now. Very nice. Wow. Wow. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we will continue this hopefully next week though. This has been an absolutely amazing mod so far. I'm really enjoying this, and I hope all of you are as well. So, from all of us here on the GTD Sanctuary, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and checking things out, and hopefully to see you guys very, very soon. And all I can say for you pilots is good luck out there, stay safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon.